What's going on, everyone? Hope you're having a fantastic one. Since the anime is in a break for a while, I wanted to discuss Ash Ketchum's Pokemon in this video. Specifically, what if all of Ash's Pokemon were fully evolved, level 100, except the Pokemon who explicitly stated they don't want to evolve, of course? What would be his best team? The idea came to me because of the new Pokemon Journeys anime. That show's given him so many good Pokemon. It looks like it's going to be his best team ever. But since we have a good idea of what his team will most likely be in this new series, based off all the Pokemon he has, the previews, I wanted to see what his best team could be if we take into account all of his Pokemon he's ever caught. And I'm not just going to account for raw strength, although that will be pretty important. The team also has to have a good balance of typing, synergy, and I'm also assuming that he can bring back some of his released Mons for this hypothetical scenario. Also, the final rule is that he has to have Pikachu in this team because that's his best buddy. Alright, let's begin. With Pikachu being our first Pokemon, we gotta think about what's the first typing we want to account for in this team. And the first thing that comes to mind is water. It's a pretty versatile type with lots of offensive and defensive capabilities, and for Ash, his best water type would obviously be his Greninja. With the Battle Bond ability, it powers up tremendously, and since it's a dual water and dark type, it'll gain an implicit psychic immunity for this team. But it does have other weaknesses, like electric, grass, fighting, and fairy. So let's cover the latter three first: grass, fighting, and fairy. The Pokemon that can cover those weaknesses, and is one of Ash's best Pokemon, would be his Charizard. With its part flying and fire type, it can resist the fairy typing while being strong against grass and fighting. Not only that, but with it being one of Ash's first Mons, its friendship with Pikachu, and everything else, it would be a really good fit for Ash's best team. But that still leaves us with an issue of electric weakness. And to make it worse, now we have two Pokemon in our team with electric weakness. If only Pikachu had Lightning Rod so it could be immune. Oh, I know. In order to combat the electrical weakness, we're going to take his Gibble and fully evolve it until it can become a Garchomp. With it being ground type, it's completely immune to electric, and while it doesn't have many things that it's strong against, being super effective against only itself, the immunity that it covers for two Pokemon is huge for us. And its weaknesses being fairy and ice can be covered by Charizard. Not only that, but with it being ground and dragon, it's resistant against rock, covering another weakness for us. And remember, Ash's Gibble already knows the strongest dragon type move in Draco Meteor. Alright, what's the next thing we need to cover? We need another powerhouse in this team with a diverse moveset. How about a Pokemon similar to Greninja where its bond with Ash can make him more powerful? I'm of course talking about Ash's newly acquired Riolu. Now, we don't have all the movesets for it, but I'm assuming Ash is probably going to give it at least one fighting type move and one steel type move, because those would be stab. So, when we evolve that Riolu into a Lucario, it gives us a couple of new resistance, like normal, dragon, steel, and it gives us a super effective typing against fairy and normal. And since its weaknesses are fire, fighting, and ground, we already have Pokemon that can deal with that, with Greninja covering fire and Charizard covering fighting and ground. Alright, for his final Pokemon, what do I want? Well, I was thinking maybe a Sceptile, since we don't have a grass type in this team, but having Sceptile introduces a couple more weaknesses to our team, which is something I'm trying to avoid. I would have also loved to have Lycanroc or Melmetal, but again, while they are strong Pokemon, they bring too many weaknesses for our team composition. And since we already have a Charizard, it would just be redundant to bring in Infernape or Incineroar. How about a Pokemon that's unorthodox and can throw off the opponent? Remember, I said that this team needs good synergy. So while having only powerhouses in this team can be fine, you need to be able to also throw off your enemies sometimes in case they do have direct counters to you. So how about Mr. Mime as our last pick? I know it's a bit controversial maybe, but with it being Psychic and Fairy, it covers our fighting weakness even more so we don't have to solely depend on the Charizard. It introduces a full-blown immunity to Dragon, giving us a backup to Garchomp, and like we saw in episode 7 in the Journeys anime, the way it battles is very unique and can throw opponents off. And yes, while it does get scared when something is overwhelmingly stronger than it, we don't need it to be our ace in the hole. That's why we have the rest of our team. So there it is, my best team for Ash. This team covers most of their types, with Lucario covering normal, poison, and dark, Greninja covering fire, ground, psychic, and rock, Pikachu covering water and flying, Garchomp covering electric, Charizard covering Grass, Ice, Bug, and Steel, and Mr. Mime covering Fighting and Dragon. The only direct counters we don't have are Ghost. For Ghost, since we're making Ash's best team, I'm just going to assume that Ash, you're gonna get rid of Greninja's Cut, right? And replace it with Night Slash? Because, come on Ash, why are you still using Cut at this point? And that's it. That would be my best team for Ash. Remember, this isn't based solely on strength, but also on team composition and trying to make his team fit. And for that, I think we got a pretty good team. But hey, I want to see your best team in the comments down below. Let me know. If you like this video, like, share, subscribe. You can also follow me on Twitter at TheRealPDGaming, and that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.